Public EV charging reliability is such a big deal to us EV drivers, to us as EV curious people, which is why we are so excited to be here today in Kingsport, Tennessee, in front of the Factor Center, the home of Field Advantage.
That's right, Field Advantage invited us out here to come check out the Factor Center so that we could learn all about it, and you're gonna learn about it as well as we take a look at all the training, the operations, the repairing that goes on in this building behind us and on this entire campus. We're really excited to share that with you.
It's so awesome. So I'm Liv.
I'm Patrick.
We're the electric duo. That's Field Advantage. Let's go. Now we are down here at the entrance to the facility with a couple of very important people, one whom you might recognize from a video when we were on the ground at a Blink station. Jason, Jen, would you like to introduce yourselves?
Yes, Jason Cortez, Vice President of e-Mobility for Field Advantage.
Hi there, I'm Jen Yoakley, Chief Marketing Officer for Blink Charging.
Awesome to have you guys here today, and so cool to be here at this facility. So you guys partnered together to make amazing charging happen, reliable charging happen for us on the ground. Can you tell us a little bit about your partnership?
Yeah, absolutely. So Blink is relying on Field Advantage to really go out and do predictive maintenance, regular maintenance, and keep our chargers up and running. It's a super important part of what we're doing for our customers and really important to what you guys do every day.
Yeah, that's all in our DNA is as you said, preventative maintenance, corrective maintenance, and of course setting ourselves up for success by proper staging of equipment, by proper staging of repaired equipment.
That's awesome.
We're here at the Factor Center. We're going to go dive in and learn all about the Factor Center and how that plays a crucial role. And we're going to learn what Factor Center means. So Let's go. Now we are in the, and I'm going to see if I can get this correct, the Field Advantage Corporate Training Operations and Repair Center.
Perfect.
I nailed it.
You nailed Factor. Perfect.
Factor.
Well done.
So, let's go into that a little bit more. What is the Factor Center and why here? What is all here? Let's just dive right in.
Yeah, absolutely. So Field Advantage calls Kingsport, Tennessee home. We're right here situated in the Midwest. We've got strategic locations with operations that can cover obviously all time zones because we got customers in all time zones obviously, and so uptime doesn't take time off, so we got to focus on that. But yeah, at our corporate headquarters here, this is obviously where our corporate offices are. This is where our repair center is, so the repair lab that we'll see in a little bit is there. Our warehousing, our central warehousing is here. We have 254 stocking locations across the U.S., but our primary warehousing facility is here on location. Yeah, and this is also a training center. So we have a training center here where technicians will come. They will receive different trainings on different hardware products and software products.
Yeah, and it's a very unique place. We've been here for a couple of days just checking it out, but you guys could have picked Dallas to be centrally located and have everybody come into some hotel and do your training in some conference center, but this is you guys own this property. It's almost like a retreat, and I think that sort of sets a different tone for the company.
Absolutely. The mindset around here is that we don't have to come to work. We get to come to work, and our facility is beautiful. We've been blessed and privileged to have such a beautiful location nestled in the Bays Mountains of Tennessee, and we're very proud of our headquarters office. And so everyone's ready to come to campus, from the lodging to just the entire experience. It's really a good experience.
It's pretty amazing, and you have technicians all throughout the U.S., so I bet the first time they come, they're like, what do you mean Kingsport, Tennessee? Yeah. But I bet that once they get here, they have a completely different attitude.
Yeah, whether it's staff that's coming for the first time or guests, partners in the industry, whatever it may be, when we talk about we'll host you on campus, and they know that we're kind of in the woods, they're thinking, cabin in the woods, caught in a corner somewhere. That is not the experience at all here. This is top tier, Airbnb style. It's really an enjoyable spot. So there's always that shock and awe factor when folks show up.
But it's also, on the other side, it's really functional. So you guys can do a lot of stuff out from this center, distributing charging equipment, training people.
Yeah, it's not just optically nice. There's operational utility here as well from the design and layout of the facilities.
Yeah, and it just makes it so like you have this one gathering central point. You can do all of that great stuff, but do it in a nice atmosphere. And like I said, we've been here a couple of days. It's been really nice. Like everybody can sort of like hang out at one of the nice cottages on campus, and it sort of creates like just a different atmosphere versus like let's go to the hotel bar.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not a far more tight or stringent environment. It's very relaxed. It's
very cool.
It's home. Yeah.
Well, let's we're gonna move in and like explore a little bit about this because I want to see like the training center, see the warehouse, see all of the actual working parts, and we'll show some of the nice scenery along the way.
All right, sounds great.
So this is your first time at the Factor Center. What do you think of it?
It's been absolutely amazing to see what they're doing for their employees so their employees can go out and service our equipment and check our equipment. It's amazing. It was great to see the warehouse, see the training facilities, and actually see the passion of the folks that are here. The people at Field Advantage are really passionate about what they're doing, and they're making a difference for us every day.
And the last time we did a video with Field Advantage, we were also at a Blink charger in Southern California. Does them having a place like this where you can see the parts, you can see the training that's going on, give you that confidence that they're able to service from Tennessee to North Carolina all the way back out to Southern California?
Absolutely. There's nothing that gives you more confidence than when you walk in a space and you actually see the work happening. You see people working on the equipment, you see the teams training, you see the way they interact every day, and it feels good. It feels different, and it gives me a lot of confidence about what this collaboration brings.
And, as an EV owner ourselves, or EV drivers ourselves, and you drive an EV, EV I really like, but it's like, charger maintenance has always been something that's been talked about for the past few years. And like everybody is working together to solve that. And this is sort of like one of those things you guys are collaborating with Field Advantage to put that emphasis that Blink needs to put on charger maintenance.
Yeah, absolutely. A long time ago, not even so long ago, 2 years ago, we talked about range anxiety. With range anxiety, am I going to get to where I go? The infrastructure's there now. And now we need to talk about charging anxiety and how we support that. How do we make sure that the chargers work when you're there, and when you pull up, you can plug in and pay and move on with your day?
Yeah. And so has Blink seen, we won't talk numbers because I know you guys want to keep your numbers to yourselves, but have you seen like an increase like customer satisfaction, more customers that are happy, more first time charge success?
Absolutely. Our utilization is continuing to improve quarter over quarter. More people are adopting EVs. People are more comfortable in EVs. They're more comfortable with the charging infrastructure, and we're seeing that. And it's so important as this industry grows. Blink is really, really committed to putting the right charger in the right place at the right time. That means that we're going to look at the areas that the chargers need to be. Does it have the right amount of traffic? Does this need a DCFC? Does this need an L2? What does it need? And that's what we're doing. And working with Field Advantage is helping us make that happen.
That's very cool. The industry is growing up and everybody's learning along the way and getting better and better. And it's great to see.
It is very cool to see. It's very neat to be on the cutting edge of something.
Very cool.
I just had to jump in here and say, Jen doesn't have just any old EV. She actually had a Mach-E until her husband Charlie stole it, which is awesome. So obviously they are now proud Fancy Pony owners and members of the Mustang Mach-E Club of America. And now you drive an i4, right?
I do.
You have an excellent taste in EVs.
Thank you. I love my car. It's so fun. It's so fast. It's so quiet.
That's awesome. That's what we love about EVs. So I had to jump in and say that.
And now I have my very own pony.
Yes, you do.
Well, I think any of us that have been in a professional career for a while, we know about training rooms. We're now in one of the training rooms, but this is just part of the Factor Center, but it's also just part of your training program. So you guys do classroom training, obviously, but you do a lot of other training as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Success in the field is really, it's prepared for in the classroom. And so classroom for Field Advantage represents several different types of modules, whether they're online, in-person training, in-field training. So here at the training lab, we obviously are working on multiple brands of hardware. So each OEM, each manufacturer has their own training methodologies and training processes, and some of it is required to be in person, some of it is on a computer. But what we've seen is that training typically is myopic to that product. So we've had to internally develop a training program that can consolidate and speak to different types of brands and is universal. But then we also want to get into some granularity when it comes to safety, when it comes to proper lockout, tagout protocols, and OSHA standards, things like that. And so we have developed an in-house training program that not only encompasses the safety aspect, it incorporates the specific training around the product, whatever that may be, and then so technicians are cycling through campus for training in person, and then of course remotely as well through modules.
And again, beautiful location to come and do some training. I think it's great, but it also speaks to this is something that is going to be a huge and expanding field as we go through EV adoption. But it's like people that are looking at doing a technical job doesn't need to be like just sitting at a computer. It's sort of like it could be this type of technical stuff, repairing things, going to different field sites. So this is sort of a great career option for a lot of people potentially.
Yeah, if you think about it, it's the intersection of technology and field repair services. So, if you're stuck in an office behind a computer, this would not be the job for you. This would be getting you out in the field, and so you get that field experience. Obviously, EV chargers are a digitally connected asset, and there are options to repair them remotely, but sometimes that's not an option if there's connectivity issue, power issues, or something wrong with the hardware. So you get a mix of both a remote view, but then also going out in the field. And that's really where we are most successful, is out in the field with specific knowledge around the particular brand of hardware and the network that we're working for, and just get into that unit and fix it. So yeah, there's the EV charger repair technician has opened up a whole dynamic in terms of career opportunities.
Yeah, the last time we did a video with you guys out in California, it's like you open it up and there's a lot more computer in there than what a lot of people expect. Plus, some high power equipment as well. So it takes a bit of a combination of things to prepare somebody. And it just sounds like it's really cool. Like you're providing such a great foundation and investing in the employees. And I think it's actually really interesting because it's twofold. Because yes, you're providing with education, but you're almost giving them, I won't say a vacation retreat, but it is a training retreat to come here.
It is, and to your point about when we were in California, we opened up that unit. There's lots of parts and pieces in there, and when you look at a charger, it is a smart device, and it is obviously communicating with the charger, with the electric vehicle that it's charging. There's not just a hardware component to the repair, but there's also the understanding. So when you kind of take a step back and you look at how does a charger end up in the market, obviously an electrician does the electrical construction and lands that charger there. But when it comes to the support and care of that charger, you don't call an electrician. You're going to call someone that is familiar with technology and is going to be equipped with the right tools and the right knowledge when it comes to repairing that unit, diagnosing that unit, whatever the need may be at the particular time.
Yeah, and as we said, it's the factor center. So you have the training part, but you have some of the operations, being able to dispatch people quickly, some of the repair stuff, which happens downstairs, which I think that's something that we're going to be excited to go take a look at, and we can go take a look at it now.
Yeah, let's go see it.
So now we're down in the guts of the Factor Center, and let me introduce Steve Smith. And what is your role down here?
I lead the repair lab.
So behind us is where a lot of the repair stuff takes place, but I want to know a little bit more about you. We were talking a little bit, heard you started off computer science degree, but then you're like, you want to do hands-on. How did you discover that?
So in school, I got into the programming classes and realized that I don't enjoy this and I'm not good at it. But hardware has always been my passion, you could say. I started early. My son broke a PlayStation Portable, and I thought, oh, I'll try to fix it. Broke it a lot worse, but in the process, learned how not to do it, and that I really enjoy it. And so I sought that as a profession, and 20 plus years later, I'm still here.
That's awesome. So behind us, there's a lot of benches, a lot of equipment. Repair can be, take place down here. So this is the stuff that sort of like gets sent back and you guys repair. And not only EVs, I know Field Advantage does a lot of stuff, but the EV chargers do come back in here, right?
Correct. Yes. The current process that we're working with Blink, it's ever changing, but in the past couple of months has been a refurb program. So they have a defective unit in the field. We have working units here. We'll ship out that unit, they'll replace it, and then that defective one will come back here to be repaired to repeat the process.
Oh, that's pretty cool. So it's like a rolling process. So at the charging station, it just gets a new one or a refurbed one, and then you guys get the old one and refurb it for somewhere else down the road.
Yes.
That's very cool. So how many, chargers do you see coming in through here? Is it a lot, or is it depends like in cycles?
The number fluctuate, obviously. Yeah. Summer months with lightning and everything, lightning wreaks havoc on electronics, of course. So that's a big part of what we see is lightning damage and water damage. And then, of course, you've got long cables that people run over and damage. So those are predominantly the issues that we see.
And it's all neat to see, like right here, you're next to the warehouse, so you have a huge parts supply now. So it's like basically handling it all in-house, being able to take care of everything. So even though we're down in the interior, you're like this is like where you love being hands-on. Do you have like advice for people that like don't want to sit at a desk all day being computer programming? You can still do something technical and come work for Field Advantage.
That's right. And I will say Field Advantage is an amazing place to work. People have their preferences where they feel comfortable. Mine was not as much the software side, but the hardware side. And you just have to feel it out. And what do you enjoy? What feels comfortable?
Yeah.
And for me, it was hardware.
That's really cool because like a lot of times we think of the tech is the person that's the nerd like me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 30 years IT. Mm-hmm. I'm in the server room. That's my comfort zone. But I can appreciate that this is also tech and takes a specific set of skills. And I think it's really awesome what you guys are doing here. And this is a pretty awesome place. We've been touring the facility and we're going to move on to the next part and see some more of this beautiful campus.
It really is.
Well, behind us right now, we see a Blink charger being worked on, but that's just one thing that they do here. But it's all a part of helping out the Blink customer. You want to talk about that?
Working with Field Advantage and collaborating with Field Advantage helps Blink to deliver on our promises. A long time ago, we really talked about charging anxiety. And what is charging anxiety? When you pull up to the charger and it doesn't work. By working with Field Advantage, we're able to take that charging anxiety and turn it into charging confidence. People like our friend back here that's working on our chargers is really helping us to do what we need to do. Field Advantage themselves is doing predictive maintenance. They're doing preventative maintenance. They're in the fields making sure that our equipment's up and working when it needs to work and when our people are there to charge.
Yeah, and I think that's really important is like having a partner like Field Advantage is all over the country where Blink is, but also just like filling in all of the, it's like it isn't just one thing. It isn't having somebody that's there on site. They need to have the equipment available. They need to be able to have a center like this that they can send stuff back into.
Absolutely critical. You hit the big part. It's having the equipment available. It's having people that are available to work on the equipment that know it and understand the industry. And that's what Field Advantage is bringing to us. So
this is actually cool. We were just talking to Steve about the refurbishment program with Blink. And like behind us, these are a bunch of chargers that have been refurbished and ready to go. So that's important to be able to have this warehouse side to ship out equipment like that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Paramount to execute an SLA is obviously readily access to equipment. And so through seed stock that we have here, as well as refurbished units that we've brought in, we've repaired, we've staged them. Of course, they're labeled and they're ready to go into the field. There's no downtime when it comes to a site that is is offline, we can show up. We have the equipment. We're doing a swap right there in the field. The site, we're reducing the downtime, but also in terms of response. So the stringencies around SLAs are important, and so that's why having repaired equipment staged and ready to go, as well as seed inventory, brand new units that can come out of the box, it helps us execute our SLAs effectively.
Yeah, I see there's a bunch of boxes everywhere. So you guys are ready to ship stuff out. And I imagine it's sort of like just overnight it.
Yes.
And don't have, like the technician can repair some stuff on site, but if it's beyond that, just like pull it off, put a different one on the next day.
Yeah, for the most part, we'll get into the details around a DC fast charger or opening it up and replacing components. But when it comes to level 2, especially, these are staged level 2 chargers. So, we're on site. We're trying to be on site on and off site in an hour is really the goal. So we can get in and get out.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Because like when you're talking about a huge DC fast charger that's very expensive, it's like you could invest a little bit more time. But for this, it's like it's easier just swap it in and out.
Yep.
It's like, doing IT support. It's like somebody would go like, hey, can you fix my mouse? I'm like, no, throw it away. It's a $6 item,
Exactly. It's the same. You're not going to fix a keyboard. You're not going to fix a mouse. You're just going to unplug it and plug the next one in. And that's the goal with the staging of repaired units as well as the seed stock.
Yeah, and I'm like, and that's the critical part. Like if I said, I can't fix your mouse, but I don't have a spare one, they're out of business. And it's the same thing with chargers. Having this inventory here and ready to go is crucial.
Absolutely. And it helps Blink with their uptime as far as their customers. So whether it's a Blink-owned site or a site host, we're trying to increase that uptime and be good partners to Blink. So the staging and prep is where is part of that secret sauce.
That's awesome. Well, as beautiful as a warehouse is, we're going to head back upstairs and see more of the beautiful campus.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah.
It's been a fantastic visit. I love learning everything that they're doing here at the Factor Center. Really cool to learn more about Field Advantage and Blink and their collaboration. I'm excited for the future of the EV charging infrastructure with companies like that, working for us, the EV owners, to make our experience even better. But we're now in the back area of the Factor Center. We're overlooking the mountains and the trees and everything. It's just such a great atmosphere here, and I'm like, I wish more companies did stuff like this. It's like building like a mini retreat to go do your training versus like the conference room downstairs. I love what they're doing here and all that they're doing here.
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible, and it's a hive of activity. It's so cool. We got to see the warehouse. We got to see chargers being repaired. We got to see repaired chargers being shipped out. All of that stuff is happening. And then we got to see training happening as well, which is so cool. And they have this just amazing facility where they do all of that. And it really is a vibe that's hard to encapsulate, but we certainly tried to. So I hope you were able to come along for the ride with us and check this out, because like you said, it's really cool to know that they're going to be impacting chargers for us, the EV consumer. Like what we want is reliable chargers. We want flawless sessions. We want to be able to go and plug in and have no issues. And it's just really awesome to know that there are companies like Field Advantage that are out there actively doing that and working to keep that uptime. So we don't have to know about this stuff, right? We don't have to know what they're doing on the back end. And maybe down the line, we won't even think about this, right? We won't even think about charger reliability in like 5-10 years or whatever. But right now, it's really reassuring to me to see what's happening behind the scenes. And I don't know about you, but I loved meeting all the people here. It's so cool how many different talented individuals they have in different areas doing different things that have an impact for us as EV users and EV drivers. And I truly, honestly want to encourage you that if you've been looking for a new career or your first career, whatever it is, this is a viable and awesome and exciting option with varied applications. It's super cool, isn't it?
Yeah. And for me, I've mentioned several times, I have a 30 plus year IT background, and it's really comforting for me to see the some of the principles that I've learned throughout my career are being implemented here. And that's like good quality training, having readily available parts to be able to ship out, having a designated like refurbishment program where you're not like pulling something off the wall and then we're going to send it in, we're going to refurbish it and then send it back out. They're basically, we'll pull the charger off, we'll put a refurbished one up, then we send that one back to get refurbished. It's like a process, and they're developing all of these. They've done a lot of research. They have a lot of experience over the past years. So they've taken all of those learnings and they're implementing that. And I think the one that I was most impressed with is that they're looking at it and doing predictive maintenance. And if you're not in the IT world, you may not know what that means, or any type of maintenance world, but it's basically looking at things and knowing like, this has a lifespan of about 2.5 to 3 years. So we're going to replace it at like the 2-year mark so it doesn't fail and create an issue for EV drivers. I'm doing that with my battery, my 12-volt battery in the Mach-E, because it lasts about 3 years. We just went past 3 years in our life of our Mach-E. So it's time to replace the battery before it fails, not after. And it just makes a lot of sense. Everything that they're doing here, and that they're doing it in such a like unexpected location, but it's so beautiful. I think the employees, you can sort of get the sense that it's like this family gathering. We're going to do a barbecue later with the employees, all hanging
maybe
out
right here.
Yeah, probably hanging out right here.
Fireplace.
It just is like such a cool atmosphere, and it's, I truly believe, corporate culture is not something that just happens. You have to build it and work at it. And I love the corporate culture that they're building here. And it becomes, when it's not corporate culture, but it's like this family, and people want to come here and people are looking forward to doing training. So really just awesome to see the whole thing that they're doing. And then talking with Blink and seeing like, not only, are they doing all this cool stuff, but it's affecting that charger reliability and results, because that's the bottom line is like, you can talk about doing all of this stuff, but it has to result in a positive outcome. And, Blink is seeing that. We as EV drivers are seeing that as well. So it's super exciting to see.
Yeah, truly. And I just have to jump on that team environment, and that it's something that you really have to work to create. I think it's really special because we've met so many of the team here that were gathering together for a retreat, basically, because they're remote workers. These are field workers. It's field advantage. They're out in the field, ready to tackle charger issues where you are, as well as here at their factor center. So it was really cool seeing them all come together. And I think something that stood out for me was like, they don't always get to spend time together because they are remote. And one employee, Logan, she was like, oh, please, can I drive Norman to the airport so she can get more time connecting with her coworker? And like, you can't fake that. That is just like an amazing vibe, an amazing environment. And I'm truly grateful that we got to come here and see this, and that we could share that with you. And I hope we were able to share it, some of the beauty of it, just a little bit.
Yeah, like I said, I've been in corporate world for years, and I've done one of those where we had people from like close to 90 different locations all go to Dallas, and we just met at some generic hotel. Like, it didn't leave an impression other than it was a generic hotel. But this is something like you can bring people in from all over the country. It's going to be a memorable experience and relaxing. Because that's the other thing is like, these technicians are working very hard to make sure the EV chargers are up and running. And then you bring them here and it's like, yes, they're still working, but they get a little bit of like a deep calming sense. So I know we're emphasizing that a lot, and it truly is. It's like we have been running around doing a lot of travel lately. We did a lot of travel to get here, but it's been like, wow, this is really nice. We don't want to leave. Can we go hide in the closet and just sort of stay here for a while?
I know, maybe we could learn how to fix EVs.
Yeah.
Or EV chargers.
Yeah. So, but it's been great. So I'm really happy, and hopefully you guys enjoyed learning about this. If you have any questions, any type of follow-ups that you want us to address with Field Advantage or Blink, please let us know. We love like continuing these conversations with you, but also with these companies that we are lucky enough to do these videos with, because we don't think of everything, we don't know everything, and we like facilitating those conversations.
Yeah, and also we want to be your mouthpiece. We want to elevate the things that you're interested in, or if you have issues or concerns or whatever, leave them down below because we will tell them or they will look in the comments. Like, this is an opportunity to ask for what you want. And I love that we're seeing that here, and they're listening. They're actively in the field, making sure that everything's better. So shall we leave now?
Yeah, we got to get ready for a barbecue. Isn't that great?
That's so awesome.
Sorry, you don't get to have it, but
I hope you can feel like you were joining us for it. We'll tell you it's probably delicious. So on that note, thank you so much for joining us for this video where we took you to the Factor Center at the Field Advantage headquarters when we showed you the entire campus. Isn't it awesome? Isn't it so great? Thank you so much for joining us for this video. And thank you to our patrons whose names are scrolling across the screen right now. We truly appreciate you guys and your support of us and this channel. And we got you guys a little patron trinket here at Field Advantage. So I can't wait to send that out.
for the unbridled patrons.
Yeah. And
Thank
maybe
you so
we'll
much.
do like behind the scenes stuff or something for everyone else. You can join our Patreon or our YouTube membership down below. Thank you all so much for the support, including our YouTube members. Thank you for liking, watching, subscribing. And on that note, just remember that whatever you drive and however you charge it, though, it better be reliable.
Yes.
Because it's going to be, because Field Advantage is working on it. Enjoy the ride.
Yep.
Yeah. Bye.